Hello there, it's Michelle, the Stamp Breaker, and I am here today to make a kite as an embellishment for a hop put on by Ginger at Ginger's Corner, and this hop is called Little Scraps Big Impact. And I like to make embellishments that I'm going to use soon. So I pulled out this collection called Lucky Day from Keep It Simple. I saw a free cut file from a cherry on top called Lucky, and I thought, hey, I can make a layout using this collection, kind of a St. Patrick's Day nod, and of course put a photo of Finley, my little rescue pup, and me on a layout. So I thought a kite would be cute, and I may make a rainbow too. There's a rainbow die that Keep It Simple has that is super cute. So I may do that. Today I'm just making the kite, and then I will be making this layout for another video. So be sure and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, and I am at 889. And I appreciate every single one of you that is a subscriber. But if you're not already subscribed, I would love to have you. So I'm going to make my kite into a shaker. So I pulled out my yellow, my green, and then also my yellow and green smaller bits. These are all sprinkles from Keep It Simple, and they have so many. I'll try to link them down below. Also this collection. So what I did is I used this new Stitched Pennants nested die, and I used a nested square die to make a kite. So, and this, my cat apparently laid on that double-sided tape. Isn't that nice? So here is a tiny little one I had practiced with our Best Day Ever collection, and I think it's too small. But basically you need two dies that are next to each other here in the nested part. So I'm going to make a medium-sized kite. It ends up being quite a bit bigger than that, but it's the next size up. And I don't know if you can see, this is the size of this. So what you do is, you're going to put this inside of here. You're going to make the base with the solid triangle, right? That'll be the base. And then to make the shaker part, I taped this down so it wouldn't move, and then I cut out the top, right? So it'll go like that. And then I did the same with the square. I have the square, so this will be the bottom. And then I took them and nested them to make the top. So that's kind of cool, right? And then I did the same thing with the, this is not very thick though, I might need to do it again, with the foam. And then I didn't do the nesting for the acetate, kind of the same as the bottom. And I use Keep It Simple's acetate and foam. Comes in a Shaker Basics. So I really like it. There's 2mm, 3mm, and 4mm, and then 6 sheets of acetate. So enough to keep you busy for a while. So you can see where I cut out the triangle and the square, and where I did make a Mickey head shaker earlier. Keep It Simple has a Mickey head die. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to put that up. And these. So I'm trying to cut down on the glare on my glass mat. And when I sit, the glare is in a different spot than what you see. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. So I need to build this first. Yes. So I'm just going to go past the point. The point is a little bit wider than the triangle. I'll try to remember to zoom in on this when I edit the video. So I will cut off these tips when I get this glue to stick. I might should have glued that down first. No, I didn't. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's see. We can figure this out. Want it to be the same shape. Looks pretty good. Okay. Then I will take some little scissors. And I'll cut this off. And then this one. Uh-oh. Needs a little bit more glue. Okay. Then I will cut off this tip and this. And I think it looks like a kite. Okay, and then this one, we'll cut off this tip. And then this one. Okay, so there's more than one way to make a shaker. You can put the foam on here, and then you can fill it up and then put the acetate on, and then this, or you can put the foam on here. Either way works. I think that today, see, and here's extra. Oops, didn't quite cut through. That's okay. I'm gonna get my X-Acto knife. Oh. All right, so those are 2 extras. All right. And also another alternative to foam even is you can die cut several layers of cardstock, and it will create a little bit of depth, enough to make your shaker. Now I think I want to make it open, so I'm going to cut this out so it's not like 2 separate shaker pockets. Does that make sense? Okay, so you want it on here where it's not going to show, and if it does show a little bit, you can trim it with your scissors. then we have, so I have enough foam here on the square to do to start another kite shaker, so that's nice. I think this will need to be trimmed. So you want to make sure there's no gaps in the foam, or there could be your shaker elements could shake right out, and you don't want that. All right. There we go. There we go. Now, the only thing is, if I put this down, will this collapse? Because I took out that middle. On this one, no, it won't collapse because it's going to be on the acetate. Okay. Okay. Now, the acetate from Keep It Simple has a film on it. So I always take one of these rub and erase removers to kind of figure out what side it is on. There we go, it's on this side. And that's going to be my top because it's nice and shiny. Okay, and then this one looks like it could be like this. And I just kind of do the edge because this could kind of scratch the acetate. All right. I don't need that anymore. And then this is going to need to be cut. Let me get my long bladed scissors. And I'm going to cut it a little off the corners. Yes, a little bit smaller. Okay. Let's see. This is also extra. Okay, now I just need to decide what shaker elements I want to put in here. And I have a cool little spoon from Keep It Simple. Let's see. I like this light lime green. Let's see what else I got. And this yellow matches really well. Let's do that. We could do also this. And then let's look at my other ones. Let's see. Maybe, let's see what color. Will this green match? It's kind of the same color as that. I think we need a darker one. Maybe this one. Kind of looks like grass, doesn't it? This one. Oh, I think that one would look good. But so many decisions. And it's a very shallow shaker because I used some pretty thin, probably the 2mm foam, and then it got crushed a little bit. I think I'll use that one instead of this. So I'll use those three. Okay, big decisions, right? Okay. I'm not sure about that one. Okay, now it's important to not get it on the foam, which I did, because then it's not going to seal good. I shouldn't have taken the protective cover off of this part. It's not off of this. So learn from me. Do as I say, not as I do. That's fun. Maybe a little bit more of this. There's different sizes in this solo yellow one. I was trying to get the smaller ones. Okay. Whoops. Lid. So the sprinkles come in two sizes of little jars, and they come in these jars. This one's a bigger one, and I really don't know if it needs anything else. I think just those two. Well, let me get, since that yellow didn't really show up, let me get this other yellow. This one. I don't think I'm going to use this green one. Okay. There we go. That's exactly what we needed, was some yellow. Because these are yellow, but they just don't show up, right? So how many of you make shakers? Or how many have you wanted to make a shaker but weren't sure how? And if so, is this helping you at all to have a little tutorial? That's right. I gotta take off the little release paper on the triangle part. So I know I could have bought a kite metal die set. I could have even gotten my Cricut out, and we just repaired my Cricut, but I kind of get challenged by isn't that cute? I kind of get challenged to make things with what I have. And another design team member with Keep It Simple had made a card, and she used these two dies, the banner die and the square die, and I'm like, that's genius. It kind of looks like it's gonna show a little bit down at the bottom here. Let's see, I can't quite get it to stick. What I need is one of my heavy duty, close to my heart stamp pads, but I will use this. It's not sticking. I'm not sure why. Let's see. But I could put an embellishment there at the bottom. I have embellishments left over from this. And yes, I did use scraps, I do have a lot of this left though, but as you can see, it has some scraps sticking out here. And I think this kite is just a little too small. And you can see I made it with strips of foam tape and kind of pieced it together right there. And I have little bitty Mickey heads in there. They're so cute. Okay, let's see if this is calming down here for me. Yes. So it's a little sticky on the side, and so I would take my anti-static static tool, kind of put it there, kind of take the sticky off, and I might trim that a little bit. Let's see. And y'all, I'm so sorry I didn't get my video up. It was supposed to go up on the last day of the month of February. The idea is to make an embellishment the month before you would use it. See the acetate sticking out over here a little bit. So, this will be for March. March winds are very conducive to kites. Now, I probably will put a tail on this, but for time's sake today, I'm not going to do that. But like I said, come back, subscribe to my channel, and come back, and I will be making a layout using this kite, and you'll see how I used it and how I added the tail, and maybe add a rainbow too. All right, well, thank you for stopping by. I will have the link to the playlist in the description so that you can check out everyone else who made kites. I've watched all the videos and everyone is different, and I think that's what's so cool about a hop like this, is that we all have different ideas, and so you can, you know, gain some ideas too when you watch our videos. So, and thank you to Ginger for putting this hop together, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.